Hi, I'm Tony, I'm your Paella Pro. I'm here today to talk to you about how to make some great paella. Paella has been cooked in Spain for hundreds and hundreds of years, and the Spanish people have a lot of pride in the paella they make. They're very specific about their ingredients and the kind of things that need to go in, and it can make an amazing, amazing meal. What we cook in Paella Pro is an American version. We use ingredients that we find that we can have the freshest and the best ingredients for the pan that we cook for you. First thing you need to do when you're going to make great paella is you need to start with the right kind of pan. We use a large carbon steel pan that's very shallow but big diameter. You want to have a shallow pan so that the liquids, as you go through the process, evaporate and give the rice the right texture at the end. If you don't have a big pan like we have, no problem. What you want to do is you want to just use a frying pan. Not a cast iron pan, it gets too hot, but a regular frying pan works really well. The basic part, the foundation of all good paella is what's called a sofrito. A sofrito is a mixture of sauteed meats or vegetables, depending on the paella, but onions and spices and tomatoes, and they go together. And that is the foundation, that's the flavor base of whatever your paella is going to be. We always start with our sausage first. We use a chorizo sausage that we have custom made in Western Washington. And that sausage then, as we're sauteing it, we'll add chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are better than breasts. Sorry, you diet folks, but chicken thighs are better than breasts because they have more flavor to them. And so we saute those together until they're about halfway done, and then we're going to add some onions to that. And to that, after they get started cooking, we're going to add some smoked paprika and some salt to kind of boost the flavor a little bit. That's the beginning of a good sofrito. Once you've got it all cooked down to the point where everything is cooked together and you've got a nice blend of flavors and seasonings and everything's bubbling nicely, that's the point where your sofrito is ready then for the next step. Once your sofrito is to the point where you want it, everything is bubbling along nicely, and you've got your flavors all mixed together and melded together, and you've got a nice juicy mix going on, that's the point when you add your rice. The rice that we use when we're cooking is bomba rice. Bomba rice is grown specifically in Valencia, Spain, only in one region. And we have found from our experience that it makes the best paella. It soaks up more liquid, and so it also soaks up more flavors out of your sofrito, goes into the rice. The rice is cooked in the pan, not separately somewhere else and then added in. And so this makes a very, very flavorful mix. First thing you want to do, you're going to put your rice in however much you need for what you're making. And then you stir it around in the pan so that you're coating the outside of the rice with all of the juices from your sofrito. The next step, once you've got your rice and your sofrito together, then you're going to take and you're going to put your stock on it. Now the type of stock you want to use, again, is specific to the type of paella you are making. We use a chicken stock very often. If you're making a seafood paella, you could use a seafood stock, a vegetarian, a vegan stock. Whatever you want to do is fine, and you can mix and match that, but traditionally you're going to try and keep the flavors pretty consistent in the pan. In our stock is where the point where you're going to add the saffron into it. Now saffron's a very, very rare and expensive spice that's used, but you want to add it, and it's essential for a good paella because it adds a flavor to it, kind of an earthiness to it, and also a distinctive yellowish color that makes it so that it's like a traditional paella. So after you've got your stock on there and you've got a nice evenly spread out bed of rice with your sofrito in it, and you've got your stock on so everything's covered nicely in your shallow pan, at that point is when we add the shrimp for our mixed paella. And you basically just sprinkle them over the top, and everything's going to cook together. It takes, from this point till your pan's done, is probably 25-30 minutes. That's how long it's going to take to cook the rice. And we've found if you just lay your shrimp on top, then they're going to cook at about the same amount of time as it takes the rice to cook. At the very end is when we put on our vegetables. We'll almost always use a green vegetable, either green peas or green beans, depending on the season. Or if you were going to put green peppers on or those sorts of things, you put them on at the very minute, about the last 5 minutes, let them steam, get them done before your pan's all completed. One thing, once you get your shrimp in, lower the heat on your pan. You don't want to cook it too fast. You want to simmer it on low and just get it so it's bubbling nicely around the pan, and that's where you want to be. If you go too fast with it, you'll burn it. Too soft, and it won't cook in enough time. The one thing that you want to do that's very, very important for paella is you do not, repeat, do not want to stir it. We're not making risotto here, we're making paella. And if you stir it like a risotto, you'll end up with creamy rice that's all blended together. Whereas in a perfect paella, we want individual grains of rice that are each independent and not glued together like they would if you had stirred them. I hope this video has been helpful for you when you go to cook your own paella. While you're at it, check out our website, www.paellapro.com. This website will tell you where we're cooking our products, so you can hopefully come find us and have some of our paella. In addition, on our site, we have some recipes and tips and tricks, and also some suppliers you can use to get authentic paella supplies and the right kind of equipment if you want to make the real deal. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. This is Tony Judah with Paella Pro. Have pan will travel.